Good evening, everyone, or good morning, or good afternoon, or good whatever time it is, wherever you are. I'll tell you what time it is right here. It's beer o'clock. Cheers, everyone. Oh, dear me, yes. Carlsberg Export again. Can't get the Heineken at the moment. And do you know what? I've been on the Carlsberg Export now for so many weeks that I don't care. I've really developed a liking for the smooth Carlsberg Export. So there you go. Excuse me. My allergies are playing up at the moment. I must be the only bloke that gets year-round hay fever, and it manifests itself in a dry, tickly cough and a bit of a runny nose, and eyes that feel like you wish you could take them out and scratch them because they're itching that much. I'm not going to try it, especially not on a live stream, but you know what I'm saying. So just in case anybody's worried about me coming down with any kind of allergy, because everybody I speak to has been, especially students, say, I've not been able to practice much this week. I've been absolutely laid up with this worst kind of viral kind of coughing, snotty kind of sneezing, wheezing, sore throat kind of thing that I've ever had. I can't remember anything worse. And I simply escaped it. Touch wood. Till now, but so any wheezing and coughing and sneezing and snotting is a result of allergies. Anyway, you don't want to hear about all of that. Got a couple of things I want to talk about tonight. We've got a guitar to unbox. You can see that behind me. But first, as is the custom and practice in this neighbourhood, let's have a little bit of a look and see who was first in and who we've got in. Oh, Grandpa Joe, congratulations, mate, first in. Then Terry Dave and Rent to Kill, David James, Peter Collins, Dave Fiendish, Peter Nicholson, Boulder 64, and who else we got? Grandpa Joe, you at hospital waiting for your wife who's having a procedure, but all is going well. Well, pass on our regards, Joe, and hope she's fighting fit in no time at all. Then we got Grumpy Horse, Dr. Gomez, Mark Kerno. We got Rubbish Guitar Bloke, Johnny Random. Luke's is in. I always call him Luke's because I'm not sure how the surname is pronounced, but I'll give it a go. Luke's Shinkovich. That's probably not even, a 3-day camel ride away from how it's supposed to be pronounced, but I had a go. Then we've got Amadeus, we've got Fiend Tunes, we've got Anton, we've got Michael Dodds. Michael Dodds is saying, looks like Agrajag are busy. It's a week waiting for a setup. Yes, Agrajag are busy. I was speaking to James a week ago today, actually, and he says he's absolutely slammed with work, which is fantastic. I like to see a man doing well, especially when he's as talented as that. We've got Craig Stamen, who won't be able to make it tonight due to work, but I'll watch on catch up later. Cheers, everyone. Have a good weekend. I intend to, mate, certainly, and I hope everyone else does as well. Then we got John Ross, Malcolm Spillett, Cylon Hybrid. Malcolm Spillett is going to have to go out soon, but hope to be back before John arrives. Well, check in when you get back, mate. Cylon Hybrid, Andy Holmes, Michael Conings, 60s Man is in, so is Karen Davis, John Mack, Chip Young, and Joe McMurray. There's Stephen Polk, and who else? We've got Calby and the Rocco Cat. Nice to see you, mate. Doc Alders, I think we're going to be looking at one of your guitars in the viewers' guitar section this evening. I think that's one of the ones that made it into tonight's pile. We'll see. There's Johnny D and Paul Taylor, Austin Barrett, Edwin Toonan, greetings from Amsterdam, and there's Chris Ottewell, and greetings from just round the corner from me, the legend that is Colin Falcon. We've got Nathan, we've got Robert Forsyth, Barry Riches, Jimmy James, Jeff Crouch, who's still at work but having a crafty wee drinky. Oh dear me, you must have a very understanding employer. It was always the thing that wasn't in 70s cop shows. after the closing of a big case, somebody would always kind of open the desk drawer and there'd be usually a bottle of Teacher's whiskey. If you're going to have a bottle of whiskey at work, do better than Teacher's. We've got Pablo Hank, and we've got Carl Tom, session guitar legend Gary Shaw, Chip Young, and there's Rent to Kill. We've got Cal Texper all the way from rainy Los Angeles. Glad to have the much needed precipitation. Rain. I should have just said rain, shouldn't I? Yes, well, we got plenty we can send over to you, mate. Michael Purcell is in, and there's my old pal Steve Cassidy guitar. As I always say, don't forget Steve's video straight after this live stream, where he's, I believe, shooting out a Fender and a Jet Stratocaster style guitar. Yes, going to be an interesting one. I'm going to watch that one a bit later when wifey's watching Coronation Street, and I'll plug my earbuds in and watch that, because I'm just interested to see how that checks out. Who else we got? We got, did I say Pablo Hank? If I didn't, I just did. We've got Rexomatic. We've got, let's have a look. Gary Shaw, what you done? You may have bought a PRS American Studio in white, pre-owned. So, well, good for you, mate. There's Robert Forsyth. Knock, knock. Who's there? The guy that came to fix your doorbell. Yes. Yes. One of those. John Channing is in, so is Eric Luttinger and Gary Arnold and Peter Hall and Jay Au Young and, did I say Rexomatic, who is making plans to visit the UK in September. Get yourself up to Redcar, mate, and we can have a beer. Come on a Friday. You can be on the live stream. You and me. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? And who else we got? We got the Lamb. The Lamb. Yes, if you don't know the Lamb's live stream, I'm sure you do. Check it out on a Monday night. I like to when I get the chance. Unfortunately, Monday nights are a bit hectic for me, lesson-wise, so I don't get a chance to check in. But anytime I get a cancellation, I always like to go along and check it. It is brilliantly mad. There is not a live stream like it anywhere on well, in the universe, really. So go and check it out. Colin Falcon saying, yes, I'm the same, referring to the allergies. It's the cack in the Teesside air. Yes, there is a reason why they call us Teesside as smoggies, isn't there? Yes. It is something to do with the air quality around here. Paul Heath is saying, what's in the box? I have no idea, mate. This is going to be as much of a journey of discovery for you guys as it is for me. I was sent this guitar by a certain gentleman in the chat as a kind of extended trial period. Basically, it's Balder. I don't mind. I don't think I'm kind of giving anything away there. He sent me a guitar and said, unbox it on the live stream. If you like it, let's talk about the price. If you don't, I'll be down your neck of the woods at some point, and I can pick it up again. If you don't, I see. I've got a couple of super chats. Paul Trainer BSc, thank you so much. That is very generous of you. Regular as clockwork. I always get the price of a pint. Well, I suppose you can probably buy a pint for £2 in a Wetherspoons, can't you? And the Lamb, thank you so much, mate. That's brilliant. That's very generous of you. Thank you so much. I'm getting beer money off people. That's always a good sign, isn't it? Who else have we got? We got Mr. Chris. We've got Eva Dunstan. We've got Ravensmead. We've got Martin Bix. We've got Peter Hall, Robin Fawcett, and Jimmy James, and I think Gary Arnold. Gary Arnold. My name was Techno. New name around here. Is that a new name or is it a new face? I don't know. Stevie Mack is in Triple X Paps, and Shane Allen, Mississippi Blues, Dave Fiendish, and I think that's pretty much everyone. I do apologise if I've missed you out. No offence intended. There's Wilson Jones all the way from down south in London, the Big Smoke as we call it up here, and Maidenman 74. And I think that is pretty much everyone. Apologies if I've missed you. I just don't like I could read the roll call out, and that's the entire live stream gone. Anyway, Everyone's welcome, and hopefully I will give you, if I didn't give you a name check, then I will notice you in the chat later and give you a shout out later. Anyway, let's tell you what's coming up on the channel this week. Sunday is a guitar comparison between two of Gibson's finest. A Les Paul, my Les Paul, you've seen it on the channel often enough, my Les Paul tribute that's had some work done on it. It now sports burst bucker pickups and stainless steel frets and all manner of great stuff. But I've always said, whenever the much debated question of tone wood raises its head, well, yes, but a Gibson, a 335 sounds different to a Les Paul. And the only difference is the timbers, and one's semi-hollow and everything. Well, I've trotted that line out for more years than I care to remember now, and it is based upon a perception that a 335 and a Les Paul do have different tonal characteristics, despite having, pretty much identical electronics and identical scale length. But I had the chance to borrow a 335, not a Gibson one of the Epiphone ones, but it's still a 335 versus a Les Paul, and I got to get a video out of that, haven't I? So that's what's coming up on Sunday. Then on Monday, another lead guitar lesson, basically how to never run out of licks. That's the long and the short of it. How to make sure that basically, you can multiply the number of licks you have by an order of magnitude, shall we say, and I'll be showing you how to do that on Monday. It's a video I've made once in the past, but it's got to be going back about 5 years. So, what I'm finding I'm doing a lot now is going back to videos that I made in 2019, 2020, and thinking I can do a better job of that, and usually, hopefully, getting a better job of it done. So that's Monday's video. Tuesday, a top 5 list, and I thought I'd already done this one, but I've sort of skirted around it a couple of times where I've spoken about my favourite music-related TV shows or my favourite music-related films or movies in one way or another, and yeah, I'm talking on Tuesday about my top 5 music documentaries, essentially. There's a lot of good ones out there, and I'm talking about my particular 5 favourites on Tuesday. Wednesday, as you probably already have guessed, is yet another track from the new album. Lots of positive feedback on the one that went out. When did it go out? On Wednesday. A lot of people saying that. I must admit, I have listened to it myself, and I'm thinking, yeah, I need to. I'm happy with the performances, but I think I'm going to remix it before the whole before the album gets, kind of the official stamp of approval as being finished. I just thought that the Strat, that red Squire Strat on there, was a bit quiet on the video, and I thought the bass was a little bit too compressed and loud sounding. So I'm going to be fixing that in a remix. I might even get a video out of that. Then on Thursday, you saw me unboxing. Where is it? This guitar. This vintage V6 reissued series Strat copy. When was it? Was it a couple of weeks ago on the live stream? I can't remember, but recently. Well, I've got to the point where I'm going to be doing my first impressions video of that. Well, I made it kind of ages ago, but I do these videos well in advance. So, that is Thursday's video, first impressions of this lovely guitar, which was very kindly sent to me by a very generous chap called Jim, for no other reason than he just likes what I do on YouTube. And, there are some generous folks out there. So that is what's coming up on the channel this week. And I need to just chug this beer. Oh, dear. Nice one. Right, let's just top up. And then just a question that I have for you chaps, which I'm just paying attention to me paw here, because we wouldn't want to get a big old flaky head on it, would we? Mind you can't tell nowadays, can you? Because, yeah. Oh, look at that. An absolutely perfect paw. Yes, absolutely perfect. That doesn't have the big kind of foamy head on it. No, absolutely perfect. Prove otherwise. Anyway, the video I did yesterday, thank you for the positive comments on that video, by the way. You know, sometimes I have an idea for a video and the finished video doesn't meet my expectations of how the video is going to turn out. And I'll be honest with you, that was kind of the case with yesterday's video. I still think I could have done a better job with that video, but I had deadlines to meet for other things and everything. So I thought, well, it kind of does what I was hoping it was going to do. And, you know, it'll do, you know, it's not one of me stronger ones, but it'll do. And it got a really rather good response. So thank you everyone for being so positive. I say everyone for being so positive. There were a couple of people who, you know, were less than positive in the comments, but I don't care. Anyway, the topic under discussion yesterday were guitar amp simulations, and there was one chap who asked me if I would do a video on like a how-to guide for installing and recording guitar amp simulations. And I have kind of tackled the whole topic of how you connect your guitar up to your PC in the past, and you know what equipment you need, what software you need, and stuff like that. But if I ever have done a how-to guide on amp simulations, it has certainly been a long time. And as I say, possibly due a revisit. So if that's something that you'd like me to do, you know, how to install something like Guitar Rig and how to use it and how to set it up and everything, then give me a shout and let me know. I'll let that permeate through the chat. And we can see what the general response is. Jay Aoyong is saying, could Bohemian Rhapsody be considered a Queen documentary? No, because it didn't document. You know, I consider a documentary to be, you know, somebody there with some kind of camera documenting what actually happened at the time, not dramatizing it and remaking it, you know, years later. And the Queen movie, but Bohemian Rhapsody, came in for a lot of flack from a lot of the Queen purists because they did mess with the timeline a little bit, you know. But you expect that when you're watching kind of a dramatization of something, you know. It's it's just par for the course. You're trying to condense, you know, what was it, from say a 20-year career from the early 70s to the early 90s. You're trying to condense that into a 90-minute, 2-hour film. You know, of course you're going to have to kind of make compromises. It's inevitable. So I see I've got more super chats. How did I miss those? I'm just going to say thank you to everybody. Andy Holmes, two New Zealand dollars. Thank you so much, mate. Michael Purcell, you need €6 for a pint in Ireland, so he's given me €5.99. Thank you very much, mate. Edwin Toonan, €10. Cheers, mate. When's the next Carmageddon? Right, okay. Carmageddon, Red Carmageddon. Yes, a big gathering in Redcar where we drink beer and go for a curry. I've put this idea out here a few times recently. There's been two so far. One was in, I think, 2021, and then we had one in 2023. So that's a 2-year gap. I think 2025 should be an ideal opportunity to do this. So what I want you all to do, right? If you're going to get your backside up to Redcar and have a beer with several beers, it will be several, I promise you that, and go to the curry house, Bengal spice, for a slap-up meal, then ping me an email expressing your interest. If you put it in the chat, I will miss it because I'm blethering away here. I'm looking at my notes and stuff. As I keep saying, I'm not Rick Beato. I don't have like a whole army of Santa's little helpers. Keeping an eye on the chat for me. Ping me an email, jrguitartuition@gmail.com. The email, or you can go and do it via the email form on my website, johnrobsonmusic.co.uk. Ping me an email expressing interest and telling me what sort of dates work best for you. We've got pretty much the rest of the year to play with, so we can have summer, we can have autumn, we can have, coming up in the winter. Let me know, just kind of, and I will try and sort of herd the cats to try and find a time and a date that works. But yes, let's make it happen. Let's do another Red Carmageddon and have a fine old time. I almost said something else then, but it almost got. So I'm just keeping an eye on the chat. Ravensmead is saying, like your shirt, John, where did you get it? I'm only wearing this, by the way, because my Fatacaster shirt is in the wash. I got this as a birthday present off the wife last year. It's... do you think she knows me? Anyway, shall we get this guitar out of the box? I have no idea what it is. I have no clue of what Mr. Balder has sent me. He did drop a couple of hints, including, you might want to kind of slit the box before you get it out. So I've done that, as you can see, and let's just all this. Oh, I see a guitar box. There we go. Right, well, it says Harley Benton on the box, but is it just a Harley Benton box? I don't know. And I genuinely have no idea what's in here. So let's just kind of go through the tape on the sides. Oh, more tape. More tape down here. Hang on. And what indeed do we have? Is that still more tape? Oh, more tape up here. Yes. Plenty of tape. And more tape. Right. What do we have? A lot of bubble wrap. Okay. We've got some iron gear pickups there, or some iron gear pickup boxes, which I suspect contain. Yeah, these are iron gear pickup boxes containing Roswell pickups. There's a bit of a clue. I can already see what this is. Excuse me, I just need to put that down over there for just a second. Carnage back there. Cardboard and bubble wrap. Right, we have a Harley Benton. well, it was a HH Harley Benton Fusion T, I believe, the trem model, and we've got a broken E string. I don't know if that's happened in transit, but it's happened. And these are, according to the Iron Gear pickup boxes, which now contain the Roswell pickups. These are Iron Gear Alchemist 90s, so a pair of humbucker-sized P90 pickups. We still have a functioning, as you can hear, push-pull on there. I don't know if that's actually doing anything on the P90s, but we have a lovely roasted maple neck with a lot of figuring in that. The necks on these Harley Benton Fusion guitars are absolutely stunning. Now, I got rid of a Harley Benton Fusion T earlier. When was it? Well, I guess it was last year, wasn't it? Which was one of my favourite guitars. But after the old finger mishap, it just never felt quite as comfortable anymore. Along with my old PRS, and I'd got the Jet, which had a more comfortable neck as well. But we shall see what we shall see with this one. As I say, Mr. Boulder, I mean, look at that finish. I think that is possibly crossing a Liberace line for me. You know, it's a little bit spangly, isn't it? You know, but what a generous gesture from Balder there, sending me this guitar to have a little bit of a play around with and possibly hang on to. I'm going to reserve judgment at the moment until I've had a play of it, and then I shall let you know. But thank you so much, Mr. Balder. That is very, very generous of you to let me have a loan of this guitar, or possibly a nice deal on a purchase. Yes. So there we go. We've got a Harley Benton Fusion T in a Liberace finish. There we go. Let's just, where shall we put this? Let's just prop it up back here. I'll chuck a new set of strings on that and get cracking making some videos. I've got another guitar with P90s that I unboxed last week that I need to do a review on. So all good stuff coming up in the near future. Thank you, Mr. Boulder. That is very, very generous of you. Anton is saying it's actually incredibly lazy of Balder 64 to send you the guitar because he needs the high E string replaced. It does have Robert Forsyth is saying, come on, feel the noise. It does have that sort of 70s Slade vibe going on, doesn't it? And the kind of whammy bar is in this bag here as well. So, yes, Telecaster style guitars with trems. There's just something not quite there about that, isn't there? Excuse me, I just had to dismiss a Windows notification there. What else have I missed in the chat? Dr. Gomez, are the glitter bands still going? Candelabra on the amp and you will be sorted. Edwin Toonan has the Strat version. You need to paint your nails to play that one. Spandex time, says Paul Trainer. Where are we? Really like the grain on the fretboard. Yes, indeed, it's those Fusion T necks are absolutely splendid, and you got to love a stainless steel fret, haven't you? So, you know, fantastic stuff. Anyway, speaking of guitars, we're roughly at the halfway point. Shall we have a little bit of a look at the guitar pictures in this week's gallery? I'm just going to load this one up. Oh, the first one. The first one is a good one. I've just seen what it is. Let's have a little bit of a look, and then you can see as well. Share screen, and here we go. So this beautiful example belongs to Bill Forwell, and it is his absolutely stunning Yamaha SG 2000 from 1977. There's a guitar that's been looked after. There's just something about, have I owned a Yamaha SG? I forget, because I went through a period in the 80s where I would own a guitar for like a week and then trade it on. But I've never owned one for an extended period. And, are Yamaha still making those? Have they reissued them? I don't know. Might have to look into that. And what have we got here? This is, I told you we were going to look at a Doc Alders guitar. This is his K Dreadnought, which I think he said it was his first guitar. I remember these from the pages of my mother's great Universal Stores mail order catalogue, because with the double pick guard and everything, it looked a little bit like the kind of guitar that the Everly brothers played. It was just the coolest thing imaginable. But it's a K, so it's going to be a challenge to play, isn't it? Really? Well, they often were anyway. And then fast forward to today. This is Doc Alders Taylor. What a stunning looking instrument. Unusual. You don't often see like a dreadnought. I presume that's a dreadnought size guitar, certainly the shape, with a slotted headstock. But I think that looks really, really classy. Just a beautiful. You just know looking at that guitar, it's going to sound absolutely heavenly, don't you? Beautiful thing. And this is Jeff Crouch's guitar. This is his Sire Larry Carlton S7. And as you can see, it's for sale. It's been professionally set up and hardly used. Yes, Jeff is something of a Marillion fan. And he does like to. He sent me a few other pictures, which we'll look at in subsequent kind of live streams. He's got a few guitars which are sort of very much Steve Rothery influenced, and I think the fact that Steve Rothery never played or doesn't play a Sire Larry Carlton S7 is possibly why he's never really bonded with it. They are beautiful guitars. I had one of these, not the fancy one with the flame top, and it was a great guitar. It's just I'm not into Strats really, and it wasn't earning its keep, so I moved it on. But if you are interested in this guitar, give me a shout, jrguitartuition@gmail.com, and I will put you in touch with Jeff and you can hammer out a deal. Anyway, moving on. I recognise this one. I recognise this guitar. Where have I seen this one before? Graham Reeves has treated himself to a used Jet JT350, and I think possibly because I waxed lyrical many times on how much I love mine. This looks to be a stock model without the hot rails in the bridge that I ended up replacing mine with. And obviously, they don't come with the stainless frets that I ended up having installed, but still a fantastic guitar. This one of these is just, it really does, kind of shine a light, I think, on where Fender have gone wrong with this current standard series. These are about 300 quid, far, far less than the Fender standard series, and I think much better spec'd, and nicer to play and nicer to look at. Just nicer in every way, as long as you don't want that F word on the headstock. Congratulations, Graham. You've got a lovely guitar there. You're going to love it. Then this Jim, we were talking about Jim earlier. Jim, the chap who sent me the vintage V6 in that lovely Laguna blue that I'm going to be doing a first impressions video on this week, and I held it up earlier. These are some of his guitars. He sent me quite a lot of pictures, has Jim. So he's helped me increase my stock of viewers' guitars picks. And what have we got here? We've got a Korean Squire Strat, a Korean Squire Telly, and a 1987 American Standard Strat. That's one of the early ones, isn't it? Because it wasn't... When did the American Standard series start? I think it was around about 87, wasn't it? So that's a really early one, early production run. Got to be worth a few quid now, mate. So, congratulations on owning that. And then this is Johnny D's Les Paul Standard, an absolutely stunning looking guitar. Look at the top on that. I think, remembering the email correctly, I think it was a guitar that belonged to his son, and who wasn't playing it. So, there was, it changed hands basically. And look at that. That is just that is absolutely a beautiful looking guitar. It's not over the top in terms of how flashy it is. It just looks the top on that guitar there reminds me of like the sort of walnut dash in an old Jag car. It's got that sort of classy but understated look about it. Absolutely beautiful. I'm very jealous of you, Johnny, for owning that guitar. Congratulations, mate. And we've got another Yamaha SG here. This is Paul Heath's Yamaha SG 1000S. And then next to it, what's that? I think you mentioned that in the email, but I didn't label it in the video. I do apologise. But this guitar here, if you add another pickup and a rudimentary kind of tremolo system to that, you've got very much my first ever electric guitar, the Woolworths Top 20. So I'm guessing that's from the same sort of stable, probably a Columbus or Tysco or one of those brands. That is what we had to cut our teeth on back in the 70s, and it's amazing we stuck at it, really, isn't it? Then Rubbish Guitar Bloke, his latest acquisition, which he's very much enjoying, he tells me. This is his Squire Mustang. I don't normally kind of like these three-quarter scale guitars, but my first ever experience of playing a Fender was on a guitar very much like this when I went to college in 1984. There was a lad there called Mick who owned a Fender Music Master, which is very much like this guitar. The only difference was he kind of hacked a DiMarzio PAF Pro into the bridge position, and it was still a Fender, and I was in the same room as it, and he let me play it. Touching a Fender for the first time, absolutely gorgeous. What a thrill. And what have we got here? An ex-student of mine, a lad called Spencer, who is quite a canny player, and his dad sent me these. Spencer's dad is a chap called Neil, and he was the guy who very generously, talking about my first guitars, got me that Satellite Les Paul copy and gave me that as a gift a year or so back. And these are a couple of Spencer's guitars. I recognise that Les Paul. That is, yes, that's very familiar to me. I believe that's a 2019 Les Paul tribute. And then what have we got there? Some kind of Jackson. Is that I'm something? A little bell in the back of my head is telling me that's the Adrian Smith one. I might be wrong, but it certainly looks like my recollection of that guitar. So yeah, Spencer's got quite the collection of guitars. Excuse me, my phone is pinging. I'm just going to have a look and see what that was. And nothing important. Go away. You're on silent now. Anyway, so that, I believe, is this week's selection of what you chaps quite amusingly refer to as readers' wives. Some of you are still sending me emails with the pictures with readers' wives in the subject line. And when I have to open my email when I've got a student in here, that can lead to some embarrassing situations. But I've said that before, and you still keep doing it, so you're obviously trolling me. Thank you for that. Right, let me just have a swig of ale. And then just have a scroll up through the chat and see what I've missed while I've been blethering. The Lamb is saying it looks like a tie score to me. Yeah, I would say that. Malcolm Spillet's back among us. Nice to have you back, mate. Chris Otterwell is saying we could have a guitar for sale segment. Yeah, we could do. I'm up for that. Let's have a look. Ravensmead is saying, funnily enough, Steve Rothery played a Yamaha SG. He let me play it once at the sound check. Lovely guy. Do you know what? I've met a few people, or spoken to a few people who've met Steve Rothery, and everybody says what a fantastic gentleman he is. You know, he doesn't come across as being the big I am rock star. Maybe if you've got a tale about meeting a rock star, then send it along to me. There are no viewers' tales this week because I've run out. Okay, we've used them all up. So if you have any, basically, kind of stories about a brush with fame, or just an entertaining story from your gigging days, anything like that, as long as it's a story with a beginning, a middle, and an end, it's music related in some way. Possibly it involves, meeting someone famous. Doesn't even have to be 100% true, to be honest with you, as long as it's amusing and there's a kernel of truth in there. It's, ping them over to me, jrguitartuition@gmail.com, and they'll go into the viewers' tales pile, and we can, we can make something of them. Jimmy James is saying Jet needs stainless steel frets. Their competitors have them. They do indeed. I'm not really into S-type guitars, but I am thinking, and it's probably not going to happen, but I am thinking about these Ibanez AZ. I'm sorry, I'm British. I say Z, not Z. First time I ever read about that Texan blues rock band, the ones with the beards. I read about them in, I think, Sounds or Kerrang or something like that. And, I saw the name and I thought, oh, ZZ Top. That's an unusual name. And interestingly, my missus, who, as I might have mentioned many times before, is from Canada. This is Z rather than Z in Canada. Or at least she does. Says so anyway. And Jimmy James is saying, yes, the Ibanez AZ standards have stainless steel frets, and they sell for the same price as these Fender standard series Strats and Tellys. It's just, you kind of juxtapose the two and you think, yeah, Fender, it's you need to up your game, lads. Rent to Kill is saying, instead of just selling guitars, how about amps, etc.? Yeah, that's absolutely, yeah. If you've got something for sale of a guitar, not like a washing machine or a motorbike or anything like that. If it's guitar related and you want to sell it, amp, guitar, pedal, whatever, and if I can give you a little bit of exposure on here, then just ping me an email. If you've got it up on Reverb or eBay, kind of ping me the link as well. I can put that in the chat, and we can hopefully help move it on for you. Johnny D saying, saw Steve Rothery on the pedal show, and he seems to be a really humble guy. What are you saying there, Balder? Having been a student and bartender in Glasgow in the 1980s, I met loads of pop people, but I'll send you my convoluted strangler story starting in Guildford and ending in Bristol. Oh, looking forward to that one, mate. Yes. Yes, and having met you, Balder, a couple of times, I do know that you do know how to string a yarn together. So I'm looking forward to that one. Guitar bass dude, Bob Dylan, Dio, Phil Collins, to mention a few that I've met. Ping your anecdotes over to me, mate. Peter Nicholson is saying, John, I have a few guitars but never played P90s. Is there a difference between them and the old soap bars? Looking at next purchase, please give your thoughts. Well, not really, because soap bars are a type of P90 usually. Well, not usually, they are. There's the soap bars are the ones that look, hang on a sec. Oh, dear me. You saw this on last week's live stream. Soap bars are the ones that look like this, where they're mounted into the body of the guitar, and they're sort of roughly the shape of a bar of soap. Hence, soap bar pickups. You get the ones that you tend to find on Les Paul Juniors, which are the ones that have like the tags at the bass and treble side of the pickup where they're screwing the body, because they call those dog-eared or dog-ear pickups, but they're just basically P90s. It's just the cover that's different. And then you get the type that's in the Liberace guitar. These, which are often called P94s, because they are a humbucker-sized P90. Electrically, they are the same as a P90, but they are just bigger to kind of fit the humbucker-sized cavity. A soap bar is a type of P90, mate. That's the long and the short of it. Anyway, let's catch up with the chat. Dog ears. Yeah, I just said that, didn't I? Or did I say something else? In my head, I said dog ears. But I might have said something else. Wouldn't be the first time that up here said something and down here said something different. There you go. Soap bars are more appearance than difference, says Triple Distilled. Yes, they are, mate. Steve Cassidy, can we sell used soap bars? Only if there are no kind of hairs from the nether region still attached. Because that's not nice, is it? What are you saying there, Lammy? I asked if it's possible to put a soap bar without the plastic warping, and it replies, a soap bar is simply a bar of soap and therefore not a living organism that can be potted. We're doomed. Yes. Am I the only person who's never used AI yet? I know of the existence of something called Gemini. I know of the existence of something called Copilot, and what's the other one? DeepSeek and ChatGPT. And it's just, it's not that I'm technophobic about it. It's just that I just really, really, really don't care. And we're all going to be ruled by kind of digital overlords who will make us all obsolete and enslave us. Well, good luck with that. I'm rushing, hurtling towards my 60th birthday, and my penchant for ale and pies means that it's. Put it this way: I can no longer describe myself as middle-aged. At 57 years old, you're not middle-aged. You're just not. You're past the halfway point by some considerable measure. So, it's what happens after, as long as I can skate along till the point where I shuffle off the mortal coil, relatively unscathed and unhurt by it all, then I really don't care. So there you go. The lamb is saying, if you ask Google a question, it'll give you an AI response by default. Now, I don't use Google anymore for searches. I found it was well, I use something called DuckDuckGo for my searches these days. Mind you, I still use Google email and everything, so they're still probably spying on me. And I'm on YouTube, which is a Google-owned platform, so they probably know everything, including my inside leg measurement. But I just find DuckDuckGo is a more reliable search engine. Actually, I just find it gives more relevant results to what I'm looking for. So that's why I started using it, not out of any sort of tinfoil hat. Big Brother is watching. The kind of Elon Musk is reading my brain waves kind of thing. I don't care about that. It's just I'm just some hairy ass bloke from Redcar. They're not interested in me. Rent to Kill is saying, "How is the lovely Dougal this week?" Yes, he's got a new toy, which is very much entertaining him. The missus bought it on Temu. It's a giggle ball. It's a plastic ball about yay big, and it's got a motion sensor in it. And when he pushes it along with his nose, it makes giggling sounds. And he kind of he's very much into that. He was hoofing it around the living room earlier today, like a Premiership footballer, basically. He was having a fine old time with it. Doing some soldering, John, says Michael Purcell. Well spotted, yes. I've had the soldering iron out. That is for an upcoming video, which I'm not going to tell you about, but basically I've been doing a pickup swap in a guitar. I'm saying no more, but there has been some pickup exchanging going on recently, and all will become clear in a video in about 3 weeks' time. Anyway, we've got 8 minutes left. Can I get another beer down the yap in that time? I think we need to try. Right. Once again for the perfect pour. Here we go. Oh, this is looking really good. Yes, this is absolutely, without question, going to be the best poured pint without the foamiest, flakiest head. You're still all going to type flake in the comments, I know, but there you go. We'll try and chug that before the end of the... Peter Nicholson saying, "How long you played with it, John?" Are you talking about the giggle ball? Balder 64, you need to get out the house a bit more, mate. That's the same soldering iron that starred in Taxi Driver. It may well be, but if you're noticing the soldering iron in an old Robert De Niro film, yeah. There we go. Anyway, Johnny Random, never done it before, but flake. 8 minutes left to down one. What does Dougal think about dog ear pickups? Are they chewable and tasty? In Dougal's world, everything is chewable and tasty. He is... we got him this toy. Cost me about 30 quid all in, including shipping, because I had to get it from America. I saw it advertised online. It was like a teddy bear, basically. And in the video on the advert, they showed them putting this toy in a food processor, in a bloody blender, pressing the start button. You could see it getting kind of mashed around in this blender, and it came out intact. Gave it to Dougal. It lasted an hour. And then it was kind of bits off of it all over the place, the stuffing all over the carpet and everything. So yes, he is what they call an aggressive chewer. He does like to exercise his molars. Johnny D is saying it once took me 4 hours to solder two DIN plugs. That's why I always go to a tech. I'll be honest with you, I have a background, as you probably know, in electronics, before I taught guitar for a living, I was a lab tech in an electronics factory. I trained to be a radio officer in the Merchant Navy, kind of fixing ships' radios and stuff. And if there is one job that I absolutely loathe and despise and hate doing and will put off and procrastinate massively on, it's any kind of wiring or soldering. I really, really don't like doing it. But I just had to bite the bullet and get on with it for this pickup swap. Let's have a look. I think it's something to do with I can never see what's going on. I've got this pair of glasses up here. I'll show you these. Again, an Amazon purchase that I put on like this, and they've got little LEDs in there. I have to use these when I'm doing soldering, and yes, and yeah, age is a cruel mistress. Let me put these back and get me proper bins on. Michael Purcell is saying, is Dougal part greyhound? No, he's half Labrador and half lurcher, so he has got, well, lurchers and greyhounds, they're kind of not that far apart, are they? And it's that lurcher instinct to just run and run and run and run and never come back that means you can't kind of let him off the lead anywhere. When you take him out, you've got to tire him out by throwing a bit. What we do is we throw a ball up the stairs and get him to chase it up the stairs, and that tires him out. And then when he goes out for a walk, it's lead walks only. Oh, Grandpa Joe, you are an absolute gentleman, sir. Thank you for being my marketing department. Fattercasters, consider John's Patreon. I guarantee you'll enjoy it. It also helps to support the channel and videos that he posts. Thank you so much, Joe. I had to put you up on screen for that. Peter Hall saying, perfect glasses for your Gary Glitter tribute band. Let's have a look. Let's scroll back up while I've been blethering. So, Chris Otterwell saying, I quite like soldering. I always swapping pickups for customers and putting right there crap soldering. Yeah, it's each to their own. I mean, I can do it, and I can usually make a neat job of it. And if you're going to do any soldering, then the one thing I strongly advise you to get, and I can't find mine because I put it away in my tube. Oh no, here it is. The one thing I strongly advise you to get is get yourself a solder sucker like this so you can remove old solder. Because if you're soldering in a new pickup, if you want to avoid that messy, kind of horrible looking, kind of lumpy kind of thing, and avoid kind of bad contacts as well, like orange peel solder, then you need to get rid of the old solder. Remove the old solder, put the new solder on. When you solder on, don't just kind of leave it a big lumpy mess there. So, yes. Hoog Jr., what are you saying there, mate? Do you prefer Les Pauls or humbucker tellies? Well, yes, I've just placed an order and paid a deposit for a twin humbucker telly that's going to be getting built for me this year. I am kind of on a waiting list. So there's a video coming up about that in the next couple of weeks where I go into a bit more detail. But I like the twin humbucker layout, and I like Telecasters. So a HH Telecaster is very much kind of pretty much the bullseye for me. But that said, this guitar is pretty much my daily driver these days. The Grandpa Joe Les Paul. Thank you, Joe. That is, it's still there. It's never going anywhere. So that Les Paul tribute is, as I say, pretty much the number one guitar at the moment. It's overtaken the HH Jet Telly. But every time I pick that jet up and I think, ooh, this is nice. So I would say the HH Telly is I don't know, it's a dead heat. Let's put it that way. And searching for Tony saying, check out Steve's video tonight after this. Indeed, check out Steve Cassidy. Anyway, I'm over time. I'm 30 seconds over. So I didn't get to finish me beer before the end of the stream. Go and check out Steve Cassidy's video. I'm going to go and finish me beer and have a curry, and I'll see you all in the next one. Thank you once again for watching a fat, bald northern lad talk absolute bollocks for an hour. It's been a blast, and I'll keep on doing it till you're sick of me. But for now, time, gentlemen, please.